All right, friends, how you doing out there? There's the Oz Man again. And today we are going to do a little video about how I polish and clean my boots. And the main reason I'm doing this video today is I ride a motorcycle, and as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, lately the shifter. So if you don't know anything about motorcycles, in order to shift gears, you use your foot, right? So you use your hand to pull in the clutch and you use your foot to change the gears. So basically there's like a little peg that sticks out, and then when you want to go to second gear, third gear, fourth gear, you push up on this peg with your foot, right? So it pushes up. And then when you want to go back down to first gear or to go to neutral, you'll push down. Now, if you have a Harley, sometimes you'll have a heel-toe shifter, so you'll use your toe to push down and your heel to push up. I do have a heel-toe shifter, but I still like to use my toe shifter a lot. I don't use the heel that much, just occasionally, but I mostly like my toe shifter. But when you use your toe shifter, you get this mark there. I don't know if you can really see it if it's coming through in the video. Little mark there. Which happens over time. Now these are WESCO boots, so I've had these boots for like around 8 years or so, and they've lasted a long time. I mean, I've ridden to Sturgis, Laughlin, Arizona, all these places, and there's been rain, dirt, snow, bugs, mud, everything, and these boots have lasted amazingly. But I guess after 8 years, the peg is starting to wear out here, or excuse me, the leather's starting to wear out a little bit, and I don't like it. I have tried to polish it out and buff it out, all this kind of stuff, but it still kind of bugs me. So I decided to buy this product. Where did I put that product? Oh, here it is. This thingamajig. So it's called the Saphir. Well, it's in French, but basically it means it's cream rejuvenation. Okay, but it's in French. But it's Saphir is the name of the company, and you can buy it on Amazon or eBay. I think there might be. I'm not sure where they originated from. Based on the fact that they're in French, I would assume it's from France. But basically, I saw a review on this, and they say it's very good to restore like scratches or cracks in leather, and you can use it for like leather, if you have leather furniture, leather jackets, all that kind of stuff. So I thought, hey, I'm going to try it on my boot and see what kind of results I get on my mighty WESCO, and see if it doesn't make it look nicer, or I don't know if the problem with this is, even if I am able to get this little I don't know, scar, or I guess I'm going to call it a scar, leather scar off my boot, probably when I go ride again, it's just going to come back, because you're still shifting. So I don't know how long this will hold up as far as a long-term plan to keep my boots looking shiny. Otherwise, what I got, it not shiny, but not showing this scar. Otherwise, what I have to do is I'm going to have to have a leather patch sewn on top. So you get this leather patch on top, and then that way when you shift, it doesn't damage the boot. I mean, it's going to eventually cut into that patch, but your boots last longer. And if you do buy WESCOs, they also give you the option of having that patch put on. I didn't put it on this boot because I don't really like the way it looks, and I actually have ordered a new pair of WESCO boots. But in all honesty, I have not put the patch on that boot either. I mean, it's still being built, so I guess I could ask him to put it on, and maybe I might. But I don't really like the way it looks. It doesn't have. It's kind of weird. It's got this kind of weird oval thing here, and I think it takes away from the coolness of the boot. But maybe I might do it on my next pair of boots. And if this thing keeps getting worse, I'll have to put some sort of patch on this one, because the rest of the boot's still in great shape, even though I've had it for 8 years and I've ridden in it, and a lot of my friends just know that I'm the guy with the big boots. So it's just my style. I love wearing these boots. I do have a pair of short WESCO boots, which I also wear, But to be honest, I much rather wear my tall boots, my WESCO tall boots. I also have these Daner boots. My camera. I also have these Daner boots here, which I sometimes wear, but I don't wear them as much. I much prefer my WESCOs. They are, I think they're the best boot around. And so we'll see. I'm going to polish them now, go through my little method, and then you know, see what the results come out as. What else was I going to say? I already forgot. But anyway, let's start the project. Oh, so what do I use to clean my boots, you might be asking? Well, I actually like using Bic. So this is, start off with Bic 1 leather cleaner. There you go, Bic 1 leather cleaner. And then after that, I like to use Bic 4 leather conditioner. See it there, leather conditioner. And then finally, we throw on some Bic. Basically, it's polish or leather cream. Yeah, Bic LP. Bic LP. So Bic LP, leather preservative. But I just kind of see it as more just a kind of a light polish. Now, when I use this instead of something more, you know, to make the boot more shiny, because this is a matte boot, oil tan, right? So it's not shiny like these puppies, right? So I use a different type of polish for the Daners. But we're talking about WESCO today, not Daners. So anyway, let's start this off. So just to let you know, I always like to just wipe down the boot with like a little cloth with some water, just to get off, you know, the first half. So I just get like a little. I already did it, so I'm not doing it now. But I just get like a little, you know, like a cloth here, and then I just put some water on it, and then I just go through the whole boot. You know, not too much water, just enough to get some of the grime off, right? And then I start. Now, there are people. I'm using my camera, but it keeps going dark on me. Sorry about that. Anyway, there are people who are called boot blacks, and they like to polish boots. So, you know, if you're in the kind of heterosexual straight community, you might not have ever heard of boot blacks. But if you're in the more the kinky leather bondage kind of scene, you probably heard about what a boot black is. So basically, a boot black is a person that enjoys polishing boots. Okay, so they really get into it, and I guess you can kind of see it as a kink or a fetish on their part. But that's a boot black. Okay, so and they have competitions and everything. So it's a big movement. And they really do a detailed job on boots like this. I'm not a boot black. I just try to make them look nice. So I'm not probably going to be as hardcore as those people are. But just for the FYI, there are people called boot blacks, and they really enjoy polishing boots. So if you ever go to some sort of a kind of a leather kinky kind of event, you will probably encounter boot blacks, and they're a little different than your normal polisher kind of guy or cobbler, because I don't think that a cobbler or a person, like for instance, if you go to a motorcycle event like a Sturgis or a Daytona Bike Week or something like that, there's going to be people who will polish your boots. You know, some girl sometimes in a bikini will polish them, but they're not hardcore. They're just doing a little quickie little polish because they want a tip, and it's not really like they are in love with the idea of polishing your boot, you know. But there are people, if you go to like a leather show, a Leatherman show, or a contest, or maybe you go to, like I said, like a kinky event, you're going to see people who really like to polish boots. Okay? Anyway, there are people who really like polishing boots. I actually, as much as I love boots, I'm not a huge fan of polishing boots. I mean, I do polish them because you want them to look nice. But, you know, it's time consuming. But what you gonna do? You wear boots, you gotta make them look nice. The good thing about motorcycle boots, especially these WESCOs, is that you don't need them to be beautiful, because, you know, most bikers, I would say the majority of bikers do have boots. They may not have WESCO, they might just have a Harley Davidson brand boot, or a Dingo, or a Durango, or you know, Doc Martin, but they, you know, they sometimes, most of them don't really polish their boots. Or if they do, it's just, you know, if they go to a motorcycle rally and it's a cute girl in a bikini, they'll throw her a couple of bucks so she can polish the boot real fast. And they polish it really fast, because when I was at Sturgis, I remember I wanted to get my boots polished because I had ridden up there, and it was all you know, the ride up there was rain, mud, you know, bugs, the whole ball of wax. So I said, you know, I'm gonna have someone polish my boots. And I got this lady to polish it, but she did a horrible job. I mean, horrible. I mean, it was like the fastest polish I've ever seen. And she only polished this bottom half. Like, she didn't go up the shaft, just this bottom half. I was like, and I think she charged me like 20 bucks. It was like, I could have done better with just a towel and some water. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so let's get into it. So, as I mentioned earlier, use like, if it's really dirty, get a cloth with some water, and then just, you know, lightly, you know, kind of, you know, brush off any bugs or mud, you know, just a light version. So that's what I do first, okay? And then we're gonna start here with Bick 1, leather cleaner, okay? You wanna clean the leather. Now, a lot of people, they like to use, they put it on, they put the polish on a cloth or something and they rub it. I like to use my hands. I have found my hands to be the best way to do this. So that's how I do it. Like I said, other people might have other methods. I don't know. This is the way I do it. All right, so let's start the magic right now. Okay, so I put a little bit on my hand, just a little bit, let it drip a little bit there on the boot. Okay, and then get my camera working here again. And then we start the polishing. Oh yeah, polishing. And I might edit this a little bit so you guys don't have to sit through the whole ball of wax. I don't know how many people want to actually watch me polish this whole boot, but maybe I'll just do one on the camera, and then the other one I will do the other by myself, so you don't have to get so bored watching me polish these things. But this is basically my plan of attack here. Let me move the camera down a little bit so you can get. Okay. So, you know, just polish the boot. You know, put a little on there, a little on your hand. I'll admit that this, if you know, if you had a kind of a perverted mind, this does have sort of a perverted look to it. I don't know if you could tell. It goes all white and everything, but you got to do it. You got to clean the leather. Otherwise, you know, you can, if you just put polish or some sort of conditioner on there without doing all this stuff, I think you're just basically, you know, you're just, how can I put it? You're not really clean. You know, the boot is, you're putting polish and stuff over dirt. And do you really want to put polish and stuff over dirt? I would guess not. That would be my guess, but I don't know. Maybe that's something you're into. I don't know. While I'm talking to you and I'm conditioning my boot here, or cleaning my boot, I should say. I was watching. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I was watching this, and anything that talks about boots or leather, I always find kind of interesting. So I was paying attention to this one guy, and maybe you guys who watch a lot of boot stuff might have seen him. He's a guy who likes to cut up boots. So he gets a boot and he cuts it in half to see if it's made of good quality and all this kind of stuff. And he's, you know, he goes around like, I'm a boot master, I know all about the boots, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And recently I watched a video, I think it was called, I don't want to look like a stripper, or stripper boots, or something like that. And he got a pair of 16-inch, I think they were WESCO boots. I can't remember for sure, but I think they were WESCO, and they were 16-inch. And they were the lineman boots. So it's the one that has all the laces that go up. And, you know, linemen use it to, you know, to climb the poles, right? So, sorry, I have to keep doing this because my camera keeps blacking out. I mean, I'm going to move a little further back here. And he said, "Oh, I really like these boots, but you know, I can't wear 16-inch boots. I mean, people will think I'm a stripper." That's what he said. I know you're sitting in shock, because I'm in shock even hearing that. I mean, you know, give me a break. I don't know. It's stuff like that. And this is supposed to be a boot guy, a boot master. That's what he calls himself. A boot master. Knows everything about boots. And yet he would say something so ridiculous as, "Oh, a man shouldn't be wearing 16-inch boots. I mean, damn, he'll be a stripper. I mean, it's like a stripper if you wear 16-inch boots." So, what do you think this genius, this boot master, decided to do? I hope you got a drink in your hands, my friends, a strong one, because what he decided to do was take his 16-inch boot, WESCO, if memory serves right, and cut it, cut it, cut it right there, and make it like an 11-inch boot. That's what this brain surgeon decided to do. I mean, I was disgusted. I couldn't. I was like, I was in pain, my friends, seeing this. I was like, you gotta be snorting something to think this is a genius idea, because it is 100% not a genius idea. It is a horrible idea. So, but he was very proud of himself, and he cut this boot and made it a small boot, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, the boot, now I can wear the boot. Now I don't look like a stripper. I don't look like a male stripper. I look like every other guy in the street, wearing a nice, safe boot, where nobody's gonna question my manhood, blah, 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 blah." And stuff like that just drives me nuts, you know, because nothing to me is more manly than wearing big, tall boots. You know, big, tall boots. Nothing more manly. And I don't know. It's hard for me to gather my thoughts because he disgusted me so much with that statement. But basically, he was trying to say that he's a straight heterosexual man and he's not going to be seen as some freak wearing tall boots. He's going to be a man. I'm a straight heterosexual guy, and I love wearing tall boots. Love it. And do homosexual men wear tall boots? Yeah, of course they do. It's the whole Leatherman scene. You know, I got videos here to talk about it. But so what? You know, I don't know. I just think that was ridiculous. And the whole reason he cut his boot, the whole reason he cut it was because he didn't want to look, you know, strange or odd. So he's like, "Oh, if I have small boots, then yeah, I'll be just like everybody else. So let me destroy this perfectly good pair of 16-inch WESCO boots so I can look like a normal guy and nobody's going to question me." You know, if you're that insecure, my friends, if you were that insecure, I don't know what to tell you. I have no clue what to tell you. I mean, I went to, what is the car show over there in Wrightwood. Walked around with these big boots. Walked around with them. All I got was compliments. Anyway, I'm about to go on a whole rampage, but I'm going to start with the other boot now. Okay, so basically, I was going to pause it. Maybe I still will, but I'm on my rant now. Okay, so this is it, nice and you know, clean. Okay, so I'm going to let it be sit there for a little bit while I work on this puppy, and this is the boot that has the mark. But anyway, so you know, this whole anyway, where was I? Okay, so yeah, I was at the car show and I was wearing my big boots, and yeah, nobody saying anything weird to me or saying anything. As a matter of fact, most people are complimentary. I went into a restaurant to get something to eat, and with my buddies, and you know, everybody ordered, and then as I was standing there, waiting for my turn to order, this lady came up to me, grabbed me by the arm, and said, "I think you have amazing boots. I love them." That's what she said to me. Amazing boots. I think I love them. These are 8-year-old WESCOs. But that was her response. And I'm sharing this little story to say, I have never, not once, well, okay, I shouldn't say, no one has verbally ever insulted my boots. At least not to my face. Now, do people, maybe somebody snickers and maybe there's comments maybe behind my back and stuff like that? Yes, but I always take that as people just being insecure. Like I have a friend of mine, and he always says, "Oh, you're always wearing your boots over your pants like this. What's wrong with you? Who does that? You know, put your boots over your pants." Even when I was at WESCO, in my Portland video, which you might have seen, the WESCO guy even said, "Oh, you know, a lot of men, they don't want to be seen wearing their tall boots. So they, even though they are wearing tall boots, they put their pants over it." To me, that is just ridiculous. I mean, that is just ridiculous. How is it that you have tall boots? You're going to spend, these boots are not cheap, my friends. I think they're almost $1,000 now. And if you really want to put all the little extras and stuff, wow, you might be over $1,000. So these boots aren't cheap. So to say, "Oh, I'm going to buy tall boots," and then I'm not even going to show them off. I'm going to put my pants over them. My stinking Levi's I bought at Ross for, you know, Ross Dress for Less, that I paid for my Levi's. I paid, you know, $19.99 for over my $1,000 boots. I mean, that's just insanity. I mean, think about a woman who buys, I don't know, expensive jewelry, an expensive necklace, a Tiffany necklace, let's say. Do you think that it crosses her mind that, "Oh man, I better put some kind of a turtleneck sweater on this thing because I don't want anyone seeing my necklace, so maybe I should, you know, buy a sweater, cover my necklace up, and thereby nobody will question me and that I spent, you know, whatever for my diamond or pearl necklace or whatever, you know, necklace, you know, she got," right? So I don't know. That really bothered me, that video, especially because this guy claims to be and he does have a lot of boot videos, and most of his videos are about boots, you know, that he cuts up and he, you know, tries to see if they're made well and all this kind of stuff. But you know, there are all these safe boots. I would call them safe boots, and what I mean about safe boots is that they're not going to turn any heads. Nobody's going to be impressed that you bought that boot. I ain't going to name the names, but you know, you can buy a pair of WESCOs or Daners or something like that, and people are going to be blown away. Or you can buy something safe, you know, that you find at the boot barn, or Ross, or someplace like that. And yeah, nobody's going to say anything. You can go to, well, I don't know if Sears is still in business, but Sears used to sell boots. But you know, they were just your average everyday Joe kind of boots. So anyway, can't believe that somebody thought it was a good idea to cut these boots down to size. I mean, if you feel so insecure in your manhood that you need to cut your boot down, you know what I think he should have done? I think he should have found a guy that would have loved those boots as is. And if he can't wear 16-inch boots because he's just, you know, he can't be seen as a gay, he can't be seen as a stripper, he can't be seen as I just want to make sure I did the conditioning on top of here. For some reason, I think I did it. Then give your boots to a more secure guy, and you can go buy a pair of 11-inch boots, you know, at the Boot Barn or Ross Dress for Less or wherever you go. And you know, you could do that. So that's just my little rant about that guy's video. Okay, so the boots are now cleaned. Okay, they're all nice and clean, they're pretty. All right, look at that, nice and clean. Look at that. Okay, so before I move on to the next step, which is the conditioner, this puppy right here, I do like to just kind of give this boot just a little use of the brush. You know, nothing dramatic, just a little bit, just to get any little bit of particle or whatever that might still be sticking around. You know, nothing dramatic. Just polish this puppy down. Okay, here we go. But I gotta tell you, the boots already look amazing. Amazing. They just look beautiful. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right. So next up, put this away. Okay. Next up, my friends, we are now heading towards the land of leather conditioning. Okay. Very important to condition your leather so they can last the long haul, as they say, right? So, you know, I don't know if I should move this camera up or not. You know, one of my biker friends yesterday, it was a woman, she was telling me, she goes, Oz, you have a habit of taking video and pictures from down low. But that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it high up. You're supposed to be like this, you know, you're supposed to be like that. Because that's how all the Instagrammers and TikTokers do it. Because that hides your double chin. If you're like this, you look like a fat man. So you gotta be like that. But, you know, I don't know, for some reason I find this annoying. You know, there's a guy called Paging Mr. Morrow. He does a YouTube show. And most of his stuff is about Disneyland and Disney World and stuff. And he's a very heavy guy. But he talks like this all throughout. Imagine you're at Disneyland and you're talking like this all day. People are looking at you like you're crazy. That's ridiculous. Why, just to hide your chin? You know, if you got a double chin, you got a double chin. You know, we all got problems. We all got stuff that we want to work on. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm the sexiest guy on the planet, but you know, I mean, it's, you know, you got a double chin, you got a double chin. You stop being a slave to the physical world, my friend. Stop being a slave. You know, just like that dude with the boots. He's a slave to this notion that men cannot wear tall boots. That's why he says, I'm not going to be a stripper. I'm not a stripper. I don't want people to think I'm a gay stripper. I'm all man, so I'm going to wear small boots because that way people won't question my manhood. I mean, it's just, that's ridiculous. But anyway, sorry for the rant, just got up my nerves. All right, so next up we got the conditioner. So here we go, same process basically. I always use my hands. I will use this eventually, this little cloth to kind of buffer it out, but that's coming down a little later. So here we go. So now same deal, put some on the boot, put some on your hand. Now this even looks more perverted than the other one because it comes out all like, I don't know if this will come on camera, but it comes out all like that. So looks pretty perverted, unfortunately, but it does an amazing job. And see, look at that. Now you're looking at that. That is called conditioning, my friends. In case you're wondering what that is. Now I will say the smell, because this thing does have a bit of a smell. Yeah, I don't love the smell. I'll be honest with you, my friends. When it comes to the smell, I think I can do without it. I think I can do without it, but that's just me. So I have another video, which I think I'm going to be posting probably after this one, where I went to another bikini show. So, you know, as you know, if you've been watching my videos or you subscribe to me, you're one of my 3 subscribers. You know that I sometimes post, I've been posting some bikini videos of the Huntington Beach Harley-Davidson bikini shows. And I've been doing that because, well, I like going to bikini shows. I like seeing girls in bikinis. And because, because people like seeing girls in bikinis, basically. But the one reason that kind of made me go down the bikini video road is I was watching a video where this guy went to a motorcycle event. I think it might have been Sturgis, but I can't remember for sure. And he recorded a bikini contest there. And I was watching it, and I was like, oh, bikini contest, that's kind of cool. And I'm checking it out, but then he stops in the middle of the contest, like he just stops. And I never found out who the winner of the bikini contest was, because he just stopped and he went on to something else. And he never discussed the bikini contest again, never talked about it in the video, nothing. He just like, okay, yeah, bikini contest, let's move on to, whatever. And it really annoyed me because I got invested in the bikini contest. I was like, oh, I wonder if this chick's gonna win. Oh, that's my favorite. I wonder if she's gonna win. And then I never found out if she won. So when I post my videos here, I like to play the whole contest because, if you're watching it, you like bikini girls and you want to see the bikini girls. At the end, you want to know who won, right? Did your favorite win? Did she win or did she lose, right? So that's why I post so much of the bikini contests. I play the whole thing for the most part. There's some stuff here and there I don't play, but for the majority, I play the whole thing because I want you guys to see the winners and everything. So anyway, this is the conditioner. So it kind of sinks into the leather, which is really nice. And it just makes your leather, gives that extra protection, okay? All right, so next up, now I'm gonna do one more conditioner here. And I think before I put on this polish, I'm gonna use this cream to see if it fixes that leather part. And if it does, then I'm gonna put the polish over it. That's kind of my plan. They don't really tell you anything about polishing on this thing because one, as I mentioned, it's like in French or something. But in the back, they just have pictures. They just have pictures. Yeah, so, in the pictures, it just shows somebody cleaning it and basically putting it on, and you wait 10 minutes, and then you wipe it off. So I'm going to do this right before I do the polish. But I still got to condition this pair of shoes, this pair of boots right here. So anyway, that was, just wanted to make a little comment about that. So the next bikini video should be coming out, I think it's going to come out after this one. So this one's coming out, you're watching it now. So probably the following weekend, I'm going to do a video, or put a video together where it's the bikini contest and a little bit of my ride to the car show I was telling you about, where, I got a compliment on the boot. And the woman said it was, she loved him basically. And then after that, I'm probably going to take a little break from videos for a little bit because I'm planning to go out of town. I got a couple of trips I got to do. And I'm hoping to record some of those trips and then try to put a video together similar to when I went to Memphis and when I went to Graceland and New Orleans, all that kind of stuff. By the way, my New Orleans video, I really hope you guys had a chance to check it out because YouTube restricted the hell out of that video. And I was like, and not because of nudity or anything like that, just because of music copyright. I mean, I know a lot of other YouTubers, they want to, they end up using stock music or they end up talking over the songs in their videos. That way they avoid getting copyright strikes. But I want you guys to feel, when you watch my videos, I want you guys to feel like you're seeing the full event. I mean, how am I going to sit here and show you the full event and then take out the music? It's just ridiculous. Imagine, I want to go to some heavy metal concerts next year or in overseas. That's kind of my dream, is to head over to Germany to check out the Wacken Heavy Metal Festival. And I want to record that festival and hopefully play it on YouTube. But of course, that's probably all copyrighted music, so I'm sure YouTube's going to have a hissy fit over it and go, "What? Are you crazy?" But what am I going to do? Go to a major concert and then record this concert and then hum over all the songs? I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm very proud of my New Orleans video, so that's why I keep, I'm pushing it a bit here for you guys to check out, because I think you have to type it in, and if you're not logged in, I think it's age restricted, because some of the girls are, once again, there's no nudity because I kind of blacked out all the nudity, but there are women who are flashing and, all that kind of stuff. So I think for all those reasons it got heavily restricted. But I really, really like the video. So I'm hoping you check it out, okay? And then as far as the car show, which you will see next week, or hopefully the following week, it was a pretty good car show. You know, you go, one of my biker friends, and I couldn't totally disagree with it. He was like, "Oh, Oz, you know, by car shows, you've seen one car show, you've seen them all," and he wasn't too into it. And I gotta be honest, I mean, I can see that. You know, you see a car show. You know, I've been to a lot of car shows, so after a while, you're like, yeah, you know. But it wasn't a bad car show. So you know, when that video comes out, basically, my plan is to mix the bikini contest with the car show. So you know, check that out, look forward to that. Okay, so I'm done with the conditioning and everything. I'm going to put on this, well, I'm going to let this thing, I want to let this thing kind of I like to give it a little time to just dry a little bit. And then when it dries, I basically, once again, do a little light buffing, and then I put on the polish, but, or, well, they don't call it polish, but, you know, the laminate, I guess, but I call it polish, basically, on the bike, on the boot. So I'm going to take a pause here for a second, and then we'll be back to, I'm going to give this thing a little time to dry, and then we're going to continue with this video in just a little bit. All right, friends, welcome back to the magic. So I'll let the conditioner just sink in a little bit, just doing, once again, a little bit of a brush here, nothing dramatic, you know, just a little bit. And then I'm going to try out this, supposed to rejuvenate the leather. Hell bent for leather, as Ralph Halford of The Priest once said. And then after that, I'm going to put my leather preservative, or as I like to call it, leather polish, even though technically it's not, but whatever. You know, I'm not one of these boot blacks. I'm just a guy who rides a motorcycle and wears tall WESCO boots. That's all I am. I gotta tell you, I'm looking forward to my new pair, but I am not. Now that I got a little bit of a scuff on my other boot, I'm thinking seriously that maybe I might have them install a little patch there, a little leather patch to protect this part. Because I don't know, it could be that just after so many years of riding with my WESCOs, eventually, I guess, you know, the leather is starting to wear out. Like I said, I've had these boots for roughly 8 years, so you know, it is what it is. Okay, so now we're gonna do this Saphir cream rejuvenating thing. So once again, we're gonna see if this thing works. So basically, I think it's just basically kind of like black, I don't know, cream, black cream, and I'm gonna put it here. I really don't know if you can see it well on this camera, but there's a little scuff right there in this area, and I'm gonna see how it does. I'm gonna put it on this thing, and then also I noticed on my other pair of boots, isn't this pair? Yeah, this one also has some scuffs back there. It's not that big. These don't bother me as much because they're in the corner of the boot, and I might try it on that too and see what happens. And then I'm gonna, you know, put the preservative on it, the polish, and then that's gonna be it. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I'm gonna put on a pair of latex gloves, just one, because I'm too lazy to put on two, and I hate the way these things feel. I don't know, these things just, I don't think I could have ever been like a nurse or a doctor or something, because you have to wear these things all the time, and it's like so uncomfortable. They don't even breathe, you know. But anyway, okay, never did this before. I've done all this other stuff that I showed you before, but this, we're taking it to another level, my friends. So will it work? Will it be a complete disaster? I don't know. Okay, but here we go. So I'm not too sure if I should put this on, let me see if they put it directly on this thing, or they put it on their finger. Let me read what it says. No, they don't have directions. Okay, not very clear. but I'm assuming you put on your finger first. So that's what I'm going to try to do. All right. All right, so let's put this boot up here and put a little bit of my finger, and then let's rub it in here. Okay. I don't know how much I should be putting in here. I don't know if this is such a great idea. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop right there. Now you're supposed to wait 10 minutes. I mean, camera. Okay, so basically it looks like that. Like that. So it's kind of shiny. All right. I don't know if it's going to do the, it's going to have the effects that I'm hoping it will have. I suspect it won't, just because I think what it basically does, now that I'm looking at it, is I think it just basically kind of paints over the scratch. So it doesn't, I was hoping for something that fills the scratch and kind of like I don't know, what's the word I'm trying to say? Fills in the little crevices and then kind of like smooth it out, sort of like if there was a way you could somehow powder leather and put it in there, and then maybe something like an acrylic, you know what I mean? Like if you use acrylic, it gets hard, soft at first, it's like glue, and then after a while it gets really hard like plastic. That's kind of what I was hoping this thing would be, but in all honesty, it doesn't look that way. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that there, and then let me put a little bit on the back of this one. I think I still got some here. So, a little bit there. Yeah. See, yeah. So it looks like it just basically kind of paints over it. So if you can see this, see right there, right there. So there it is. Hopefully you get a good view. Let me bring this one back up here. Hopefully you can see there. All right. All right, so they say you have to wait 10 minutes. So I'm gonna wait 10 minutes. I'm gonna wait 10 minutes, and then, we'll see where we take it from there. All right, so I'll see you in 10 minutes. All right, friends, we're back. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes since I put on the rejuvenator. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't look so great. It does not. I don't feel it really did anything other than put make the little scarring part look a little bit more black. So yeah, I gotta try. I'm gonna list this as a failure. However, I guess it's okay, but yeah, I don't really think it came out all that great. So, what you gonna do when they come for you, my friends? Bad boys, So I'm gonna put the Bick's lubricator on there in just a second here, but I did want to say one other thing too about boots, and that is, I spent a lot of time talking about WESCO boots and Daners here, and sometimes I'll talk about Dingos or AdTech or Chippewa. But there are other boots out there which I don't ever talk about because I don't have much experience in them, and that's the GOTH boots, or that some people might even say heavy metal boots, the emo boots. And these are boots by companies like Kill, Demonia, New Rock, and yeah, they just, I'll try to post some pictures so you can see what they look like if you're not familiar. But they're very popular in the gothic, vampire, even in some heavy metal scenes. Very popular, the goth boot. I'll just call them the goth boots. So Demonia is probably the most famous because they have that whole vampire goth look, but they're not too expensive. And then Kill, I think, is kind of in the middle, and New Rock is probably considered the best because of their quality. All these boots I think are under $500 more or less, depends on which ones you buy. But very popular with that scene. I don't own any of these boots and I don't have much experience in them, so that's why I don't talk about them. And they're not biker boots. Well, I shouldn't say they're not some people do use it as biker boots, but they're not genuinely known for it. Mostly those boots are boots for the goth clubs. You know, if you're into dressing like a vampire. You know, I was at a leather party, a leather kind of kinky festival party a number of months ago, and I met this woman there, very attractive woman, very beautiful, and she had fangs, vampire fangs. And I thought, oh, you know, she bought these fangs somewhere, you know, glued them on because, you know, nobody has vampire fangs. And I said, oh, I see you have some vampire fangs. That's kind of cool. And then she goes, what do you mean? These are my teeth. And I'm like, and I was kind of a pause there for a second because I'm like, you know, I'm thinking to myself, no, they're not. You bought them at some store, you know, Party City, whatever, Halloween. What's that one that comes out in Halloween? Oh, I forgot the name. But you know, the store that pops up all over in Halloween time to sell costumes. I cannot think of the name. Oh my God, my brain, I tell you, I'm losing it in my old age. But I want to call it Scary Time, but it's not Scary Time. It's, wow, can't remember the name. Well, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The store that comes out every Halloween, they take over an abandoned store, like an abandoned Comp USA or an abandoned JC Penney's or something like that, and then they make it into a Halloween store. You know, I can picture the Reaper in my head. I just cannot, for some reason, remember the name of that store. But anyway, I figure she bought these teeth there. And she goes, no, these are my real teeth. I'm a vampire, you know. And she goes, I drink blood and I don't go out in the daytime. Now, mind you, when I was at this club, this event, it was at night. So, you know, was she telling the truth? I don't know. But she was wearing demonia boots. That's the reason I'm bringing this up. And she had the whole goth thing of the pale skin and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, is she really a vampire? You know, she was 420 friendly, if you know what I mean. So, I don't know how many. I've seen a lot of vampire movies, and I've never seen like Dracula or Lestat or any of these vampires, you know, lighting up a doobie. But who knows? Who knows? You know, I don't know the vampire world that well. But anyway, those boots are known for that movement. So there's a lot of videos about demonia and the goth boot scene. So if you're interested in that, check them out. I don't know if I ever will buy any of those kind of boots because they really don't fit my aesthetic, or, you know, and I do like to use my boots are functional. Even though my gainers here, I know a lot of people who do watch my videos like these boots more than the WESCO because they like the whole shininess. But these boots are very, I don't wear them that much, I'll be honest, because one, they're not as strong as the WESCO, and when I ride, they seem kind of flimsy in compare. I think these boots are more better suited for, you know, looks, you know, to go to a club or a party or something like that, than they really are about riding a motorcycle. Even though motorcycle cops have used them, but I don't know. For me, my experience with this boot is that it looks great, but I don't know if it has the functionality of the WESCO. And the other thing too is their breathability is not as good as the WESCO. I feel like the WESCO, I can my leg and foot breathe well, and this one, I just don't feel like it has very good breathability. But they look good, and I do wear them if I do go to a club like that club when I was there with that lady, the vampire. I was wearing these puppies. I should have recorded, but they don't allow. You know, some of these clubs aren't really a fan of video or taking pictures. You know, go figure. Everybody, you know, in a time of Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff, you know, for you to be shy and say, oh, you know, I can't let my co-workers see this, or I can't let my if you're a student, I can't let my co-students see this. Most times people don't care. And okay, what did you went to some vampire club? Oh my God. Woo. Guess you can't work at Starbucks. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's finish up the polish here on the mighty WESCO. Oh yeah, the Co baby. So I'm going to use this preservative Bick's LP. There's the Bick's LP, and I really like this. I think it does a great job, and that's what I'm going to do. Once again, just like everything else, I use my hand. Okay, I don't put it on a cloth or any of that kind of stuff. And it looks like this. The smell isn't too bad. Kind of smells like a saddle, like a horse saddle, But anyway, so this one, you pick it up. This is thick, so you gotta really kind of, and much like everything else, if you have a dirty mind, I know you. I know the people watching my videos. Anyway, and then you just work it into the leather. Work it into the leather, as they say. And that's pretty much it. So anyway, I made this video just to show you the process of me polishing these boots and how I do it. Maybe one day I'll show you how I polish the Daners, because it is a different process. When it's a boot that's shiny, I use a different method than this method. But most of my boots, the Daners are really my only shiny boot. I used to own a pair of a pair of Chippewa, but I actually sold those, so I don't have them anymore. The reason I got rid of my Chippewas was that, one, they were only 16 inches tall, and I prefer at least 18 inches on my boots, and for several reasons. One, I think it looks better, and two, as time goes by, the boot sags a bit. The shaft here. I wish my camera wouldn't keep shutting off on me. They sag, and so it's actually going down to probably a 16 inch at a certain point because of the sag. Now, some people who have tall boots, they hang their boots like that in their closet, or they hang it, they hang it with a hook here, like that. But I don't have time for all that stuff. I'm riding these boots. I'm riding with these boots, and I'm a busy guy, and I don't got time to be putting my boots on some fancy. I barely have time to polish these things. The only reason I'm polishing it today is because it's raining outside. We're having our little hurricane. Well, it's supposed to be a hurricane. We're supposed to have Hurricane Hillary today, but it's more just like a regular rain. It's not even, the trees are not even blowing. It's supposed to be a hurricane. Trees are supposed to be blowing all over the place, and not even blowing. But anyway, I'm digressing. So, yeah, I mentioned those other boots because of the vampire chick, but they are kind of cool boots. The Doll Kills, Demonia, New Rock, all that kind of stuff. So if maybe you're watching this video and these WESCO boots aren't your thing, or motorcycle boots aren't your thing, but you want to be, you want to make a statement, you want to be kind of kinky, or maybe you're into the goth movement. Maybe you're an emo kid or emo adult, and you want to show your style. Check them out. Like I said, I think Demonia is supposed to be the cheapest of them all. So if you want to save some money, you go with Demonia. However, I have heard that Demonia is their quality is not so fantastic. So if you buy a pair of Demonia, it may not last too long. Okay, but if you buy, I think the Doll Kill or the New Rock, you probably have a better experience. Look at that. Like, are you seeing that? I'm gonna get my camera. Are you seeing this shininess? I don't know if you're seeing it, my friends. I don't know if it's coming through. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right. So this is boot 1, and this is the boot with the work done. And As you can see, not too cool. So Saphir here, I think we can say failure. You know, I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh on them, but I'm not that impressed. You know, I'm sorry. Sometimes the Ozman's got to be cruel. You got to be cruel to be kind. Wasn't that a song? You got to be cruel to be kind. Back in the 80s. You know, there was another thing that happened back in the 80s. What do they call it? Tough love. Tough love, baby. That's when they would send kids, like high school kids, to juvenile hall or even to regular prison for like a day or something like that, to scare them straight. Scare straight. And, you know, the whole point of that was that they would not be hoodlums and they would be good kids and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know if that ever happened. You know, that's the problem with the news. They make statements and then they never, or shows, they never follow up. You never know what happened to these people. Did they become straight all-American people, or did they become hoodlums, or, you know, nothing. No follow-up, nothing. So, I don't know. Oh well, friends. Well, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a kind of a long one, and it's just basically me polishing boots, and I guess a little bit of that review of the Saphir. But you know, I wanted to show you how this is done. I don't know when I'll go do another one of these things, because I don't know, they're very time consuming, and I'm not too sure how interesting they are. Okay, so I'm going to put some of this cream over where that Saphir thing was, or this preservative, I should say, Bicks. Maybe that makes it look nicer. Yeah, actually, it kind of does. It's still noticeable there, but it does look a little bit better with the polish. So anyway, yeah, boots, gotta love them, my friends, gotta love them. And see, with this kind of polish, I like to really just, you know, the reason I use my hands is I want to like squeeze into. I want the preservative to really just get in there, get inside that leather, soak in there. And, you know, become one with the boot. Become one with the boot, my friends. And thereby now, when it rains or something like that, and I'm out riding, my boot will be ready to rock the Casbah. Oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about. All right, looking good. Looking good. So once again, if I was a boot black, I'm sure I would be doing things a little bit more hardcore than this, but believe me, this is a much better job than's been done at the motorcycle rallies I've gone to. All right, can you see this? Okay, let me see. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? So this is where the scuff is. You know, you could tell it looks a little nicer with the cream on it, with the preservative on it. But unfortunately, probably when I get back on the bike, this will just come right off and I'll still have my scuff, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to wash my hands real quick, and then I'm going to do the last part of this, which is when I use the brush and I buff it out a bit with the cloth here. Okay, so give me a second. All right, friends, so I'm going to start off with this one. Okay, so here it is. This is the one without the scuff. And all I do here is I just want to, you know, kind of wipe it down a bit, take off the excess with this cloth, and just kind of, you know, remove any of the, you know, extra preservative that's like just kind of sitting on top of the surface there. You could also wait, you know, sometimes I'll wait a little bit, you know, 10 minutes or so. But today I'm going to do a quickie version. Oh, by the way, this is where the other scuffs were on that I used the cream on. You know, no major difference there, but it is what it is. So just lightly wiping this thing down, nothing dramatic. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this one. You know, give it a nice little buff job there. look at that, it's beautiful. All right. Okay. And then let me use the brush a little bit, just to give it a nice little, you know, sheen there. Nice little sheen going on there. Now, mind you, the very first time I get on the bike, you know, it's good. All the bugs and grime are all going to hit this thing, but at least for a little while, it's going to look fantastic. All right, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. All right, more here. Okay. And I've noticed too with boots, everybody sort of seems to have their own little method of how they polish them. Doesn't seem like there's a one set rule. So, you know, if you want to experiment a bit, watch other YouTube videos, you might, you know, find yourself liking somebody else's process better than mine. I'm more of a, I don't say I'm the greatest boot polisher on the planet. I just want to make them look somewhat nice, and you know, be ready for action, be ready for the bike, be ready to go out and about. You know, sometimes I'll wear these boots just to go out to a club or hang out with some friends or whatever. You know, I gotta say though, I really like wearing tall boots. And you know, as I mentioned already in the video, there was this guy who makes another video and he's like, oh man, I can't be seen with stripper boots. But to me, these boots, I love them so much more than short boots. You know, occasionally I'll wear my short, hold on a second here. Occasionally, I'll wear my short WESCOs here. You know, and they're good boots. They're WESCO, so they're just as good as the tall ones. But there's something about these tall boots that just feel right to me. When I wear them, especially when I'm riding, I mean, it just feels perfect. And when I'm walking around, like I was at that car show, you know, I just forget that I'm wearing these big boots. I mean, I'm sure it makes a statement when people see me in it, you know, because, you know, obviously it's not every day you see men walking around with tall boots. Unless they're, you know, in the police, unless they're motorcycle police. And even these days, you don't even see, I've noticed less and less motorcycle policemen wear boots, wear tall boots. They're all, you know, wearing small boots now, or even in some cases, just like kind of shoes, because they're no longer riding Harleys, they're riding BMWs, and they don't see, I guess, the need to wear tall boots anymore, but I love them. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the video. I hope you liked it. And, you know, keep wearing tall boots, whether it's WESCO, Daner, Chippewa, or you want to go goth and buy yourself a pair of Doll Kill, Demonia, or New Rock, go for it. But don't cut a boot in half. I mean, if you buy a 16, 18, 20-inch boot, then wear it with pride. Or if you just say, I can't do it, I can't wear those boots, I'm not that confident, then give it to somebody who will love them, and go buy yourself a 11-inch or 12-inch WESCO or White's boots and rock those puppies. All right, until next time, my friends, ride like the wind, don't let that wind ride you, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.